fingers up when we meet.
4.
Oh, it's yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start again. So if you would kindly take your seat. And we have 3 more items on the agenda, and would like to finish at 12:30. We want to present you a bit with the state of play on the extranet and on the European Job Days. But before we do that, I just would like to give the floor to a new colleague in the Euros Coordination Office, Antoine, who will tell you a bit more about, first of all, about himself, and then about what we are doing in general this year on the Euros portal. There will be more information with the Euros Coordination group in June on this, but Antoine is just going to give you a bit of a flavor of what we're doing at the moment.
Thanks, Duda. I'll stay here so that I don't interrupt Ralph. So I am the new, so to say, Euros portal manager, the business manager. Duda imposed on me that I give a bit of a background, so I will honor the request. I've spent most of my time in the private sector, working in electronic business, manufacturing and retailing mostly. Based first I started in Malta, went into the UK, spent some time in Italy and in the US. And then I ended up in Brussels, strangely enough, which was never on my radar, but it happens to a lot of us expats here. And at a point I joined the Commission. I worked for 6 years in the communication unit of the same DG Employment. And this year the opportunity came to move to something which I feel it's closely related to communication, which is the Euros portal, because I worked a lot on the web too in the DG. So now I have a team. Most of them are here. We're working to make a breakthrough this year on some key developments which I hear a lot of you have been waiting on in the portal. The first one, and I won't elaborate so that I don't take Ralph's time, would be the extranet. It's going to be completely revamped, and it's going to become a tool that allows you to do much more than it's actually doing now. And it's also going to be simpler and clearer in the way it's structured. So in fact, we've had in the last 3 to 4 months, we've built a very solid business plan for this year, looking at the key components of what we want to do with the extranet. And Ralph will go into a lot of detail on that to show you how the structure has changed and then what you can do with that. The second thing, which I think you've discussed yesterday, I'm sorry I couldn't be here with you yesterday because of a family issue, is the skills-based matching, the famous matching mechanism, which is going to be much more enhanced in the Euros portal, which I think it provides quite a competitive advantage. And I'd be glad to discuss this with you for those people who have any doubts about what it would do and what it would not do, and what are your fears, so that I dispel those fears, because I think we need to position this very clearly so that you can be, as Mark and Duda were saying, good ambassadors also of the tools you have. So using natural language processing, the current matching system will allow you to approximate with much more accuracy how to fill and provide your employers with a good fill for the candidates who are on the portal. The third thing we're going to be working on, and hopefully you'll see this towards the third and fourth quarter, would be the reporting mechanism in the portal. We know that data is extremely important for you, and we think that because there's going to be so much going into the portal this year, and then the member states would be feeding this information into the portal, hopefully, then you need a good reporting mechanism to show you exactly where we're heading. You know, it's like what gets measured gets done, they say. And if you can measure if what you've been doing onto the portal and what the data is telling you, then you can say, okay, I think I'm missing some areas here, or I think we're very strong in this, let's put some more resources into it. And again, I can on a one-to-one basis, or you can contact me. We'll give you a bit more detail on how this is going to work. We're also going to enhance the portal to make it a bit more social media friendly. So there are other tools. I'm not going to go into details because we also have some changes in the team and we're going through a bit of a transition period. So I can't give you a definite date when we will deliver these, but there are some minor things which we are going to improve it considerably. And I'm not going to go into details in this, but they are there in a business plan and they will be delivered. That's my 5-minute piece on the portal. I'd be glad to take any questions you have, and I will look forward to working with you in the next couple of years. Thanks a lot. Thank you. To you.
Hi everybody, I'm Ralph, and I can see some face I've seen in October last year. Can you just show me who was there last year in October, just to have an idea? Okay. Before talking about the portal, you have seen that some people are missing. Who is missing here? Henrik and Pascal. So, and I talked about drop-in last year. Drop-in project, and you have, for the one that were there last year in October, you receive a mailing from Henrik asking if you've got some people that would like to participate into the opportunities. Some answered, so it says thanks you, so I just say thank you from him. He's now in fact fighting in Barcelona to sell drop-in, just for information. And for others that would like to know more about it, there's a leaflet. So Harry, sorry, it's a paper leaflet with a QR code, okay? You can have all the information, and it will be, and I would say, on the seats at the end of, I would say, at 12 o'clock, you can pick up the information. So from Henrik, already thank you for the one that already answered, and you will see the evolution. It's a pilot right now, quite challenging, but that's I would say the status about the drop-in stuff, just for information. Okay, let's start. So extranet, you've been hearing for more than 2 years, I think, about the evolution of the extranet is going to be there and everything. We are nearly there. Nearly there. The way I will talk about it is, of course, what has been happening before, what is happening now, and what will happen next, and how you, as the communication ambassadors, bracket, will be able to use it, whatever it means. First of all, yeah, we receive all the logs, information about the current extranet. This is how it's looking like. That's what you can do inside. It's quite fuzzy, you don't find information. What you can see on your right are in fact all the kind of information you can find. And back to an SMS from UK, there's a need, of course, to find all those kind of images, material stuff. I will talk about it later, for instance. And you see on the bottom corner right, the feature you can use. So depending if you are US advisors or US manager or other persons, you might use those kind of tools in your daily job, weekly job, or every quarter, or whatever, in fact. So that's the first thing about the extranet today. Last time, during the state of play of Henrik, he presented a little part about the element about the new extranet that will be in place. And I will go there in more detail so you have a better view of what it is. Also, because it's important that I get the feedback from the end users, that's you, the reporting that the previous contractor made got 144, something like this, kind of answers from all of you, so also people which are online. And what I took out is pretty that you need online chat, it's obvious. This is not NetTop. It's the way to communicate with other US members. You need, of course, to search content, basic. You need to view, of course, updates or up-to-date information. Communicate with others, because there are other ways to communicate. To find a structured content, where is the information? That came a lot in the survey. And then something a bit special, where we talk about best practice or how to collaborate together, user content generation, this Web 2.0 old kind of, I would say, for me it's old, but maybe not for you, way of collaborating. How can you do it? Because it's always nice, you have all the tools, but it's not the tools, it's about you, the network, and not the tool. And the famous ready-to-use content that you can take or ask to any of you, I would say, kind of contacts you have to handle with. So based on this, there has been a definition of what is the purpose of the US extranet. So yeah, this is the blah, blah, blah text. I will make it shorter. So for who? It's the US advisor. You are the foundation. And now, seeing the transition with the NCO tools, whatever, we see other kind of US members that will, in fact, need to use the extranet in some times. Then, of course, the 3 keywords is connect, collaborate, learn. I will come back on that point. And what do you need to do? Well, it's always the same, to increase collaboration, to facilitate information sharing, and to stay up to date with all information. That's basically what is the purpose of the extranet. It's a tool for you made of tools, nothing more. So that's why we really encourage to have feedback from all of you. Now, if you take any extranet, it's always the same. You will see in all your presentation that you have in other conference, it's always the same. They will talk about knowledge base, a way to ask questions, a way to find the contacts, a way to find the files, way to communicate, how to centralize all information in one place, collaborate, and maybe you know the word wiki, blog, forum, calendars. And then, because this is US, you need specific tools like the famous EA monthly report, for instance, and other tools like this, like the activity plans. Question, in the activity plans, who has participated in the activity plans? Okay, that's aside other tools that has been developed for the network. So, if we transform this into kind of features, the need is really about, of course, a more simple file repository, a kind of way, of course, to chat with each other. That shouldn't be an issue with your IT governance, because, you know, with Blackboard and all the stuff, you might have issues. We have a solution that might work with all of you. And workspaces, that's a new notion I will explain at a later stage. So today, we get the feedback, of course, from the survey that was made for the year. We have multi-logs through the help desk, information from the full team that support US. So we gather all those information, and also the IT working group. Right now, only Harry is part of the IT working group today, but we try to gather most information from all the workshops to see what could be the needs you have, but concrete, tangible needs, not the one that should think about the extranet but will not use it. And right now in progress, we are developing the new extranet with the notion of workspace and redesigning the events calendar, because there was some question about the EOGD. How can we link and promote events on the public site? That's already done, but also with the EOGD. So it's, and of course, inside the network. One element, the extranet is inside the network. Social media tools, you don't promote things from the extranet. So that's an element, but we can talk about social media inside the extranet. Big difference. And then the activity planning reports, it's ongoing project right now. We took all the needs and consider all the elements that you provide to us. That's a tool you might see for some of you. In fact, it will be evolved. It's already evolving right now. Now, planning question. Today you've got what we call the legacy current extranet. There will be the new extranet. In terms of time, estimation would be that for autumn, you should be able to test it. You will have in parallel both extranet running together, and the pilot phase will be, in fact, to get used to it, get your feedback, also for the training that Davide will consider. Because, of course, it's refreshing way of working. We know that the level of IT savvy is different from any people. We try to find what could be the best suiting for everyone, in fact. So there will be a training also for next year how to use the new extranet. And that's going to be with Davide. We need to work on it. When we do this transition phase, that's after the pilot phase, we will, in fact, connect all the tools which are in the current extranet inside the new extranet. So there will be this kind of phase. We need to do it in that way because we have got IT constraint. We need to have those two experiments running together for a while, in fact. During that period, of course, all your feedback will be considered for development. It's what we call in technical language, agile approach. So let's go to the point directly. Those are screenshots you have seen last time. I cannot show you the beta, which is online. There's some issue right now in the connection. So plan B, Murphy Law, I've got the screenshots. So for the connect part, you will be able, of course, to search anyone like before, the search actors of the network. You will see the list of the news, and you will be able to see the expanded news when you click on each news. And something new, it's called the US wall. So for the ones that are on Facebook, it's the same concept, except it's a wall open to you with a few characters where you could put some comments, whatever you want there. So in a way, if some people would like to collaborate and it's open, because that's also a mind shift to have. To collaborate is not easy. It's different from control, free of user-generated stuff. You have two kind of things there which are in balance here. So the wall is pretty to express yourself or whatever you want. And it's open to anyone in the network. By the way, when you log in, we know who you are. Huh? Just for information. Second part, the collaborate part is divided. So this is the landing page of collaborate part. It's landed, in fact, into the workspace. I will come back on that point later. The events, and you will see, of course, sorting events much more advanced than before. And the list of all the tools you can access. I think you've got something like 30-ish tools you can access. And today you've got 10, 12 tools which are there, but they're really hidden. That's the point. That's the collaborate part. For the learn part, you can see it as the knowledge base from US to you. So, of course, training is most important, as we discussed. There will be also a link to the trainer community. That's something else. And the content is from the US team is, in fact, a huge wiki. For you will only be able to read this content. You will not be able to add those pages for that part. So it's divided into the resource, strategy planning, project legal documents, meetings, and reports, but in more, I would say, easy way. Why do we use behind a wiki? Because it evolves. The content can evolve, but in your case, you will be able to access at any moment. So that's the way the structure of the document will be there. It will be planned to structurize the content that way. So you've got one landing page with all the contents, with the most important elements, and when you deep dive inside, you will have more details. One element important, on the top, you see there's something called a search. You can search into the document and into the files. And you have an access directly to the files repository. That's the goal there that we plan to give you. Now, on the landing page and on all your screens, go at the bottom, you see a little black box there. This is the chat online. If you are connected to the extranet, you will be able to chat to anyone who is online. And sometimes you don't want to be bothered. You can, of course, mute yourself and be hidden, because some people don't want to be bothered by others to chat. Other element is the feature files will be files which will be promoted or important to read for you. Other element is the My Shortcuts. That's based on 3 or 5 requests from US advisors that say, okay, it's really nice, we've got a structure, but if we think about not the solution, but about each person, you are working differently. So your shortcuts are different. We provide the way that you can have specific shortcuts inside the extranet, but also other links outside that you use every day, for instance. So that's, in fact, in a few minutes, what will be the new extranet with the key elements. We know there will be resistance to understand how it's working. We're going to help you to go step by step, because it's I think it's a big change for you, all those information. So, tomorrow, that's the sitemap. I will not go inside it, but it's the evolution of the extranet. It's nice, but this is not the purpose right now. What I want to focus is on the workspace. So, you're there, that's you. You've got your bunch of colleagues or people here. And normally when you go into a conference and they talk about extranet, they say, yeah, we can collaborate. We're going to give you what we call a wiki. So a wiki, for those who don't know, I would say, it's just like if you had a Word document that you can edit online and share to other people. I make it really short. I mean, it's one definition. Wiki means fast, okay? Nothing more. And this document is open to anyone. So it's collaborative. It's transparent, not controlled. You see? Control, transparent, issue. Then you have, of course, forums, with questions you can ask. And then you have, I would say, a typical file repository. But if you think further, if you take one person, you are part of different group. You have different interests or projects. Let's say here, I'll take Harry again. He's part of 2 working groups, at least. 3 working groups, at least. Maybe some other part of 2 or 3 or 4 working groups. Maybe you are working with other countries, or that's for the project, or you have some interest to exchange, I would say, jobs in your country, mobility elements. So there need to be a way that we could use collaboration tools with your different interests. That's the solution of the workspace. We provide the collaborative tools for each workspace, so you can use technology to work together. The workspace is self-controlled, meaning we don't control what you put inside. It's yourself, collective intelligence, that make it. We provide you the tools. Some of the workspace are what we say private. So here, audience is for the working group. It will be hidden to someone who do not need or be part of this working group, for instance. Some, like US question and answer, of course, will be public to anyone. And there is a last one, which is train the trainer, where you can request to become a trainer to other network, and then it will be moderated by, for instance, Davide. It's different kind of workspace. Practically, this is a snapshot of 2 days ago of the workspace list. Okay, I've got admin rights, so I've got all the list. There's something like 20 workspaces. What you see on the left is a filter of, there's of course filter. Workspace which are based on the working groups, and you can see stuff like ICWG that you might start to hear more and more. ICWG, IOC, ICWG, and there are some more, I would say, kind of working groups. And on the right, you can see the workspace I am part of. And you can see communication, trainer, IT tools, based on the IT working group request, they want to focus on IT tools, cross-border partnerships that will come around. In a workspace, just to give you a little route where it is, so when you click it will be easier, of course. On the Collaborate landing page, you can see the last activity of the workspaces you are part of. That's what you see in the little box December. For the one I can see December, that's where you get the activity of all the workspace. But you can also filter to see one specific workspace, whatever. You can select then the list of workspace that you are part in. And the workspace is defined in that way that first you get the landing page, explaining the purpose of the workspace. And then you can access a wiki, files, you can add your files, whatever, or structure of folder, forum, and list of members. Because sometimes you would like to know who is a member of, who is acquainted to that kind of workspace. So then you can use a chat. So it's your way to use the system, the tools. But the challenge for us will be to explain you the tools that you can use to make your own scenario, the own way you work. And you're all different. So we need to find a way to put you all together into the extranet and to find the way you want to work with which tools at what moment. It's quite challenging, but it's possible. I've seen it before. That's the purpose of the extranet. It's really a tool. It's a tool of the tools for you. That's the purpose of the extranet. And it's based on your request. not what we think is good for you. No, no way. That's not the way of doing an extranet. So, call to action. When ready, we want you to test. You will have some guidance about testing the new extranet, aside of the legacy extranet. And there will be some explanation how you can use the workspace for yourself. That was my quick presentation for the extranet. Time for questions or?
No. I've got a microphone, but I had a text from a colleague who was very interested in the extranet and asked, could we access the Euro Shutterstock account?
So,
he's just got some feedback on the graphics and videos. I think we're keen to sort of emulate Italy really and use videos more. And he wants some more usable products.
okay. I can answer is online. I suppose it's online right now.
I suppose so. He may be.
Okay, well, if you're online, I will answer the question. So, the question is about the US Shutterstock for that we can provide. In the future, what could be possible in the knowledge base, you can see that there is a part called resource. We could add a link directly there. That's it. And then there will be a page where you can have the information. Another entry point, because today you've got multiple entry points. Inside the tools, there might be a link to that other point, for instance. That's the way that we think is the more logical in terms of user experience. It's not one way of doing it, it's any way of doing it. And then you get the last one, which is the search. So 3 ways of thinking a way to go inside.
Would there also be a possibility to share living and working information? Because it's then updated information.
Yeah, that's a side project that we are working on. I can talk. Yeah, okay. So the idea is to have this huge Word document into an online form, where the member state might put the data inside, and then we validate the content, and we then go into the other process of translation and everything. Yes. So it will be an internal tools to gather the content. That's the philosophy, to also use the internet to go further and to be also a way to gather the content from you all to put on the public side also. But that's, I would say, an evolution for the next years. It's not that easy.
Regarding strategies and planning and statistics and reports, here in the Learn section you will find final products. Because actually, strategies and planning and even meetings and projects, I would see it in Collaborate, but maybe it's final products there.
Just to explain what is the Learn part, it's much more, I would say, US providing, I would say, a snapshot of a current situation of all documents and everything, whereas in the workspace it's work in progress, you know, the gray zone where there is nothing. It's an activity, the work in progress. So the concrete official information will be inside the Learn part. The ongoing work or whatever will be into the workspace. And when I would say a document is created into the workspace and is mature, of course, then we put it inside the knowledge base. So it's completely transparent. That's the purpose of it. Okay. Well, thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Ralph. I guess you have a bit of an idea of the potential of this tool, and quite honestly, I think it will be a game changer in terms of how we work together in the network. It's mentioned also in the strategy. Of course, we as Euros Coordination Office, we provide this tool. But afterwards, people need to use it. What's a tool if it's not used? So it will be very important, first of all, for you to help us with the testing, and then secondly, promote actively among all your colleagues the use of such tools. And of course we will support them with training, but it's a process, and it's a process that will go and start really seriously in 2016, also when we are getting up to speed with the reform. Now we're going to have a presentation on job days. So Elke and Virginie are going to present the state of play on the job days. I see Elke is standing behind the camera, so I don't know whether that means that she doesn't want to present it, or there's another issue. You have the floor.
I don't need this actually. Oh, where did they go? There. So, as Ralph said, Pascal and Henrik are abroad for drop-in, so Pascal asked me to take the honors and explain you a bit about the job days in 2015 and also some improvements that have been made to the EJD portal. Most of you know what a job day is, but just as a reminder, I put what was decided in November 2013 to be the official definition of a job day as being an event that is either virtual or physical for a limited period of time and focused on labor mobility but also recruitment activities. So this is just for your information, and you will see this also on the extranet afterwards. As for the EJDs in 2014, we had 26 job days organized by 15 countries, of which 14 were in spring and 12 were in autumn. We don't have the exact numbers for autumn yet, so I just numbered the ones that we had in spring. Currently, we had over 2,800 job seekers, over 180 employers, of which more than 70 were online, and they published over 1,150 job offers on the website. There were more than 550 chats on NetUp, which is quite a record, and over 2,260 viewers followed the live stream presentations. Why do we present these numbers here? Because there is quite an evolution since the beginning of the EJD. Duden and I talked about this last week, still. As we look over the years, a lot of countries started doing EJDs, and this is quite a nice evolution because it allows job seekers and employers and US advisors to meet regardless of the boundaries of country, of distance, of language, which is a nice thing which we try to support. As for spring 2015, we have 10 events, of which 3 already took place, Sweden only last week. And we got already some applications for autumn season even. Just a reminder, which Davide I think will agree with me, is that training is really important, and we have a nice EJD training. Unfortunately, well, maybe fortunately for you, the June session is already fully booked, but in June there will be a new call for training. So everybody who wants to join the training in December, please be quick, because these trainings are really in demand, and we kind of give preference for EJDs of which people have taken part in the training as well. So it's thought to keep in mind. Those of you who were here in October probably heard from Pascal the plans to improve the evaluation system on the EJD portal. And I'm really happy to say that these changes have been made. So we don't use SurveyMonkey anymore. The questionnaires can be found on the EJD website. And we remove the pre-event evaluation and the evaluation for US advisors. So Harry will be happy, no more paper forms. And the evaluation process is online only, and job seekers and employers get the link by email. Now, this is really easy when you have registered your job seekers and employers through the EJD platform. Actually, everything is automated. So the process, one day after the event, an evaluation form is sent using the mails of the job seekers and employers that registered on the portal. As an event organizer, you can add questions, you can remove questions, you can customize them, you can add a personal message to the mail that has been sent. Now you say, what if I did not use the platform to register job seekers? There is actually a really easy form that you can use that is on the extranet, and that you can use to gather the information of job seekers that visit you on the job day itself. And in the end, you can insert these email addresses into the EJD tool by yourself with your EJD account, or you can send the list to the EJD event at typic.eu, which is the functional mailbox for all things related to EJDs. If you need more information on the current extranet, there is still a fact sheet, which is called Evaluation Processes, which outlines the whole process, but should you still have questions, you can always send the mail to the same functional mailbox. There's an extranet page also outlining the process, which is currently updated. And in the future, they're working on 2 slide casts, so kind of a how-to movie to do the evaluations. For autumn season 2015, we decided on a deadline for the applications of the 31st of August, especially for the events that take place in September, October, November. We are quite strict about this because we need 2 months preparation at least. Preparation is really important to make your job days a real success. If you want to apply for a job day, the form is still on the extranet. Now, as to what happens to this form when you send it, it ends up on my desk, and I ask Typic for kind of an estimation of the budget. This goes to our hierarchy and is approved on, which normally shouldn't be a problem. And then it goes back to you saying, okay, we have approval, and we order the services from Typic, which leads me to Virginie, who will explain to you what they do for you.
So, hi everybody. That's lucky we have a transparency glass so you can see a little bit because I don't see you. So I will explain you the support from Typic for your events. So we are here to help you, to guide you during the process of your events. And we will take an active role in the planning and in the coordination of your activities. We will be your support, but also your partner. That's important. In the service we will provide to you is, of course, the conception of the event, a lot of communication, strategy definition, the social media account. We will promote your event on your ESCO account. We can organize for you a paid campaign on social media, Google adverts, or other kind of communication we will define together. We will, of course, help you to set up the website, create your events, explain to you how to validate the exhibitor we came to your events and also the jobs and the job seeker, and also help you for the online setup for the tools like NetUp and Livestream. Of course, you all follow the training, maybe not whole, but later. And you have also video to explain how to do that. But we will be there to help you along the process to be sure that it will be fine. We can also help you on editorial stuff. So most of the time you produce all the content, but we can also have proofreading or writing content if necessary. The training, so the training for the tools, it's very important. And during the event, we will be there online or on site. We will also design support materials such as poster, web banner, press releases, videos, slide of presentation. This will be defined together what you need, and also help you in the evaluation process that Elke just explained. The team. Oh, it's not the. You don't have your picture. So you have Joa. Most of you already know her from yesterday. She will be the campaign manager with Marion and I. For each event, you will have a campaign manager dedicated to your event. Most of the time, the two other campaign managers will be in copy of all your emails exchange, and we will take part in the conference call you had, just to be sure that if someone needs an information, everybody in the team is involved in the project. And Olivier de Donker will be your community manager, so he will promote your events in social media, and also the moderation of your online job days during live stream, for example. So, the role of the campaign manager. So, the campaign manager will be your contact person. That's it. We can define the roles in different points. The first point is advice. So we can give you advice on the communication strategy, maybe sometimes on the event concept, definition or refinement, for example, to be sure that you have a target audience and this is not too difficult event for job seeker to understand. For example, if you told me this will be an event from everybody to everybody, I would say no, maybe we will make it more specific. Of course, the support I already explained, so the online tools, the live streaming, and the support during your events. We will be your communication partner, so the production of material, social media, and writing, proofreading your content. And we will be also a control role. Of course, it's a little joke, but we will be sure that everything is running, and just to see what you are doing. And if we see that, oh, there is too many exhibitors waiting for your validation, we will just send you a quick email or just a quick call to say, oh, be careful, you need to validate those applications. Also for the content, news and program, and the coordination in general. And now some tips for running a successful event. We already talked about all of this stuff these 2 days, but it's important to remind it. So be organized, so a clear planning, clear task to define in your team who will do that. You can have also in the extranet some checklists to be sure that you have a clear planning and to be sure that all tasks have been done. And I'll also encourage you to check your online notification on your agenda in AGD. You can also select the option to receive those notifications by email on the AGD platform, and it's important just to have this reminder sometime. Be trained yourself with the website, NetUp and Livestream. With the website, you have an access to a training platform where you can play with the website, and with no risk we can create a job and validate it, and just to see how it looks. Of course, during the process of your event, we will explain you and remind you how to access to this platform. And NetUp and Livestream. I had the idea that sometimes, instead of just have a quick call on the phone, we can also have our meeting in NetUp. So we will be trained to use the tool, and I will be play the job seeker, and we can define the planning on NetUp too. And of course, be prepared also with your exhibitors. So to be sure that at least 2 weeks before the event, they have an access to NetUp, they have to connect to the tool, to come back to the tool. Most of the time they forget the password and stuff like that. And we need to be sure that everything will be on run. And also to be cool. I think that's important. Because of course, there is sometimes issue, it's an event, so at the end it's always emergency and stuff like that. But I'm quite sure that for each issue there will be a solution, and your event will be a success. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments, observations? It was very clear. Thank you very much, Elke, Virginie. Do you have any more issues or comments you want to share with the Eurus Coordination Office following these 2 days of discussions, information? I think you're looking at your watch, you're thinking about your lunch, and then there is this annoying guy in front of you asking you to think on the substance. Okay, yes, Anna-Margrethe, I was counting on you actually. Come, tell me.
Regarding questions, I had to think a little bit about it. Regarding the OGDs, 2 things. Virginie, you were talking about a checklist. Is it on the extranet at the moment?
Hello? Yeah. Yes, actually, it's on the extranet in a PDF document. I think the name of this document is bringing your job days online or something like this. But and at the end of this,
a fact sheet, probably.
No, this is not fact sheet. This is a more documented and I think it will be great to send you an email with this document and this list. But yeah, you can find it on the European Job Days page, I think, the main page.
Also, regarding the training platform, the testing platform, I've heard requests from other colleagues who are now organizing events. Who sometimes the training platform is not fully available, or they try the passwords that they had from the training, and sometimes it's not available, or it's probably not updated as often as it should be, because actually what is permanently working on new tools in the platform, and we are having the events on a regular basis, and when we go to the test platform, sometimes the latest functionalities are still not there updated. So something for you to think about: a more permanent availability of the testing platform and a more regular update. Okay.
Okay.
And also regarding the developments of the OGD platform. For those who are organizing events, it would be important that you would communicate on a regular basis if there are new functionalities or changes in the functionalities which have an impact on the way we organize the event, because sometimes we are confronted with the new functionalities or with the new way of working without having previous notice of it, and sometimes it's a bit confusing for us. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Marinelle is going to add something, and then Slovenia.
The next newsletter Inside the Eurus will just arrive to you today or just after the weekend, and there we also have a little topic about the next online job fairs, the planned ones, and also we included 2 links: the one to the application form and the one to the special document you were talking about, the tips and tricks, and so it will be also in the Inside the Eurus newsletter.
Hello.
Yeah. Actually, Anna Margarita was talking about us. I think. Oh, okay. So we really wanted to access the test version of the portal, the platform, but we couldn't. We couldn't get the link. So we watched at all the tutorials, the videos that can help us to know how to manage the platform. And then when we finally reached also the test version and the real platform, the production platform, we realized that this is good, that the platform is really developing, but the tutorials and the test version are not with it, you know? So there are some differences with the, just to, yeah, this is all.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for honest feedback. We appreciate that. So we will take this in hand. We've already started to work quite extensively with Typic about the maintenance and the development of the portal, but the platform, ICWG platform. But it will really now start more seriously in the coming months, because we were in the phase that we were between two contractors when it came to the ICWG platform, the site. So on some issues in terms of maintenance, we have been a bit, it has been, I wouldn't say on the back burner, but it has been quiet. And now we will pick up again. But we will take into account these tips and align it also with all the training. I think that's a very good point to make. Are there any other observations, any other comments? Okay, okay, I give you 30 seconds more to think. Yes, go ahead.
Just a general comment. The team has changed. That's what I realized during these 2 days. Can we have a communication, perhaps by email, with the list of persons and their new roles? And perhaps also a list of the people who are now in the ICWG group. It will help us to communicate also this information to our colleagues back home. Thank you.
I would add to Claire's comments regarding the search for actors functionality on the extranet, in the current extranet. We've been having some trouble, and probably it's not for this group, but still, since we have ICWG organizers also here, I think it should be a point that after all of these changes, there are a lot of changes taking place in the network, namely at the NCO level. And you also sent a note on the change of profiles on the search for actors functionality, which should take place soon, because the people have different names. It's not Iris Manager anymore. There are a lot of people leaving. So it would be important, I don't know if it's in here or probably in the ECG meeting, but maybe to have a point on the importance of updating the information, because we sent invitations for the next event, and actually we realized that the extranet regarding the contact section is not that updated at the moment. And I will not talk about the RISCO team section, because I believe you have a point in there.
Okay, thank you for this last comment. To both suggestions, a full-hearted yes, we will certainly do that. We'll get a new list of the ECHO team, the contractors, and of the information and communication working group composition after this meeting, yes. And secondly, on the point about the changes in the network and the relationship with the accounts on the portal, we've also realized that the network is really in transition as a result of the reform, and we want to go to the EURES coordination group in June with a proposal for how to stabilize that. What will be the process? Who will validate what, etc. So it will take, I would say it would take some time, because we all have to move forward. So my aim would be to say by the end of this year, it's all clean. It's all up to date. Maybe we can go faster, but we have to see with the national coordination officers. Okay. I think I gave you the 30 seconds, right? So now I'm going to come and give you my wrap-up list. So these are the conclusions for the meeting. So first of all, I want you to tell that I was very glad with the way you've welcomed the new team. So I want to thank you for that. So I think the meeting was very productive, and I want to in particular ask you to give a round of applause for our new contractors, because they passed the test today, I think. So. Thank you. The second observation on this meeting, I want to say that the best practices part was, for me, almost the most interesting one. Of course, I'm always happy when my colleagues show how smart they are about the extranet and the job days and the spokes responsibilities, etc. But I think the part where we share best practices about communication tools was very interesting. So in the future, I think we should elaborate a bit more. And again, I ask you to come forward with suggestions and proposals. So that's my first point. My second point is you have been introduced to our new Mrs. Communication in the EURES Coordination Office, that is Marinella. And I want you to nurture that link and to give feedback, ideas, content to Marinella. If you want to pass a message to the EURES Coordination Office on something, send a message to Marinella, Mrs. Communication of the EURES Coordination Office. So it's also if you want to ask our assistance for certain things. You've been introduced to the contractor team, you see they're competent, professional, they're going to help you with many things, as we had with COPPA in the past. So if you need it, if you feel you need something, if you want to build a communication strategy, for instance, or a specific campaign, you want assistance, send your request to Marinella, as you did in the past to Harvard or Hendrik. The third message I want to pass is, please also reflect beyond this meeting about your role as a single point of contact for communication. So it's very nice that we have this meeting and that we have this network feeling today, but try and take it with you when you're home and keep that role in mind and connect very well with the head of the National Coordination Office. There are many changes going on in EURES. I see it in my team. I hear it all the time speaking to heads of national coordination offices. So it's important that you liaise continuously also with your colleagues, your boss in the national coordination office. So that was the key message of Marinella's presentation, and please take that to heart. The fourth comment relates to the communication strategy. Thank you for your feedback. The next step is the EURES Coordination Group. So that's a meeting end of June. Now, I would like to ask you to, I would like to give you an opportunity for some more written comments on the documents until the 15th of May. Please send them to me and to Marinella personally. So you have 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks, to make some written comments. And on that basis, then we will slightly revise the document and send it to the EURES coordination group. I've already noted at least two things I have to change. We have to add something on the qualitative dimension of the KPIs. And secondly, we have to reformulate the brand values in connection to the story about the quality of job vacancies and high quality, etc. And thirdly, maybe we should think a bit more about the messaging on labor mobility. But I still would like your input. So if you have any suggestions in writing, please, before the 15th of May, to Marinella and me. I've understood from the discussion today that there are some issues or some question marks about staff ambassadors. I think we had a good debate this morning. I hope that your understanding has grown. So what we will do for the next EURES coordination group, we will make a revised document of the communication strategy, taking into account your written contributions, first of all. Secondly, we will provide some more explanation on staff ambassadors. And thirdly, we will give some ideas to the EURES coordination group how the strategy could then be implemented. So what would be the next steps? There was this chart from conception to action. What will be the next step? How could we help you develop national communication plans? The fifth point I had on my list was that you've asked us to reflect on how to inform the heads of PES about the work in relation to communication, the issues about social media, IT tools, etc. We will reflect from my side on the timing. I don't know if it's appropriate to do that before the EURES coordination group, because there is a meeting scheduled in May, or whether it's more appropriate to do that after. But we will certainly think of that. I think it's important to ensure buy-in at that level. The sixth point, I'm sorry, I'm losing track in numbers here. The sixth point, I think, is about ensuring a proper articulation between the different types of trainings we have. So David has already explained to you that we're going to work on a single training catalog, incorporating the offer of Ernst & Young and the offer of TPIC. So there will, of course, always have to be 2 application procedures. David explained that. But you need to give us a little bit more time to develop that single catalog, because we need to think first, what are your needs following the strategy? So in the course of the year, there will be this process. And then, again, it's like with the functions on the network. Then there will, hopefully, by the end of the year, be stability. Actually, then I'm at the end of my list. I just have two more logistic observations. First of all, the next meeting. You want to know, of course, when is the next meeting? In October. For now, we haven't planned a date. We have to look a bit at the offers in terms of the meeting rooms. And we have to think also about what we want with this meeting. Ideally, we would want to have a meeting where we discuss further the national communication plans. But maybe we should reflect a bit on how that needs to be done and who would be participating. Perhaps not only the single points of contact, perhaps also others in the network. So next meeting in October, and you will be informed before the summer break about the exact date, so you can plan your calendar for the October session. And that's it. The last point is there is still a lunch for you served downstairs. So if you feel like you're ready to have a nice lunch and to say goodbye to each other, then lunch is served downstairs. So thank you for your attention.